What's good, artists? It's Curtis King of CurtisKingBeats.com here with another Artist Marketing 911. Artists, today we're going to talk about home studio recording equipment, the bare essentials for under $1,000. Now, when I first started recording as an artist, I couldn't afford to go into these recording studios. I would have loved to go into these high-power recording studios with hundreds of $1,000s of equipment. But unfortunately, a lot of these were asking for 30 bucks an hour or 50 bucks an hour, and I just couldn't afford that when I first began. So I knew that very early I was going to have to learn how to get some of this equipment myself and just really teach myself on the fly. Well, 13 years later, still recording. I've been to many studios, but I just enjoy the convenience of having the recording equipment at home. Now, I don't have a crazy setup. I know some of you are probably watching this who have probably never seen my videos before, and you're probably looking for state-of-the-art equipment. No, my goal was, one, to have a mobile setup, a setup that I can just take anywhere. Two, to have something efficient enough to where if I want to record a rough draft here, I can record it and then I can send it off to an excellent engineer. And three, just to have something that would allow me to have the ability to record a song, get it mixed, get it mastered, and then get it out to the public. Many of you might actually be surprised. My last project, Raging Waters, you can go check it out on my YouTube channel. I recorded that all from this room. Yeah, there's no padding in this room. There's no crazy setup. Could there be some enhancements? Of course. But my goal in this video is to get you to get started into having your own little setup at home, because I think that's very important. I think it saves you a lot of money. Now, I'm not here to discredit you going to a recording studio. By all means, it's a lot more convenient. It's a lot easier, especially because that's the environment you're supposed to record in, and you're not having to deal with all kind of element issues and reverb issues and baby crying in the next room issues. But I think that it's beautiful just to have that convenience, and why overlook that? I think it's crazy sometimes some of the prices that I hear too that a lot of these artists pay. I'm just like, no way that you're paying that much money to go record a mixtape verse. No way in hell. So with that said, I'm going to break down pretty much my basic setup and how you can get started for less than $1,000. Now, I must mention a lot of these products that I'm going to tell you about, I'm not sponsored by, nothing like that, but a lot of these are going to be assuming that you get a used version of them, okay? So you're not going to get the state-of-the-art, the new ones. Now, you can if you want, but I'm telling you right now, that's going to push you a little bit over $1,000. Not a whole lot, about $1,000 about $1,200 is going to push you up. But if you're looking to stay below $1,000, I'm here to help you. We're going to break down this equipment piece by piece. Equipment piece number one, the most important, is obviously your laptop or your computer. Now, I've been recording on laptops. I've recorded on desktop. I think it's definitely ideal to get a desktop computer, only because there's just so much you can do in terms of RAM. And you want to have something that can handle a lot of like the Waves plugins and things that you might get in the future. But I'll tell you, my laptop has been doing me so much justice. And like I said, my goal is to be mobile. I want to be able to be on the road and record a verse or get a verse from somebody while I'm in another state. So that's why I chose the laptop route. Now, my particular laptop is an Asus Notebook i7 dual core processing, maxed out on the RAM. It's just very important that you get something capable of holding a lot of space, one, and able to have the CPU to handle a lot of these programs that require a lot of CPU. Now, the program I'm going to suggest to you, which is your multi-tracking program, it doesn't really use up a lot of CPU, but it's good to have that just in case. Maybe you want to start making beats one day. It's very important to have that capability. Now, that being said, the multi-tracking program that I use in particular is called Adobe Audition. Now, Adobe Audition used to be a program called Cool Edit Pro. I used to use that way back when. I know people who still use it today. It's a very reliable program. It's not that expensive. Actually, the beautiful thing about it being an Adobe product is the fact that you can pay for an Adobe Creative Cloud account, okay? You can get this program and have it. I think retail value is like $3,000, but you can have this for 20 bucks a month and just use it as long as you feel the need to use it. But that's an added bonus to using an Adobe product, and this is definitely an Adobe Audition product. I've been using this product for a long time. My entire album, I recorded everything on Adobe Audition. So that's your 20 bucks. The laptop itself, I don't think I mentioned that, but the laptop itself is about $350. You can find it. I'm going to put up some links where you can find these things at affordable rates, but I found this same laptop for $350 on Amazon. Hell of a deal. Now, the third piece of equipment is not highly essential, but it is essential if you want to hear playback on some quality monitors. Now, I have the Rocket 8s. You don't need the Rocket 8s. You can get the Rocket 5s. I actually found some Rocket 5s used for, how much were they? I found some used Rocket 5s for $200. So that's a hell of a price. I'm pretty sure that you can find some more. I actually got mine's two. I'm talking about two of them. Make sure you look and see if it's two of them they're offering. But I got mine's for $200 from a friend of mine that just happened to be in the area. And I put it up on Facebook that I'm looking for some speakers. And he happened to have the Rocket 5s, which I was looking to get. Next piece of equipment, my Focusrite 2i2. This is hella essential to your equipment and your home recording equipment. Now, why is this essential? One, it's durable. You could take this thing on the road. It's not going to break down on you. It has two inputs for microphones. This is going to be very important for the type of microphone I'm going to suggest to you. It has the 48 volts of phantom power. You got your headphone jack for your 1/4 inch, or you can have an adapter in that. Even here, you can add your monitor inputs. It's very durable, it's very reliable, and it gives you a very crisp sound because you don't want to use the stock sounds of your laptop. You don't want to rely on that as you're starting to hear your vocals back, because what you'll find is that as you get to different recording setups, it's going to sound terribly different. You're going to see that the quality is just not matching up to the different places that you take it. The Focusrite 2i2 has been one of the most reliable audio interfaces that I had. So you're going to need that for your microphone. You're going to need that to get a accurate sound of what your vocals are actually sounding like. So great investment to make. Now, I think the retail value is between $150 to $199, but I found one for $75 used. And that's a hell of a price, especially for the used. And like I said, they're very reliable. They're not going to just break down on you. I love it. And since we're talking about a microphone, the next piece of equipment I want to talk to you about is the AKG Perception 420. It's a very quality microphone. I've had a friend of mine who suggested this to me because it's just really great quality, especially for home recording. I haven't found a microphone that's at this clear for this particular price. Now, retail value is about $199. I've seen some for $150, but you don't want to skimp on your microphone. This is probably one of the most important pieces of your equipment. You don't want to skimp on that. So if you got that $200 to go ahead and go for it, just go ahead and get that. If you happen to find it on a deal at Guitar Center, go ahead and do that too. But you want to make sure you don't skimp on this. Very important. Now, of course, with the microphone, you're going to have your microphone stand. Now, this is a pro line stand. You don't have to get the top of the line stand. You just want something that can support the weight of this microphone. It's a pretty heavy microphone, but you want something that can support it. I found some on an app called OfferUp. If you do not know about OfferUp, let this be your new best friend. Download it right now. I'll give you some time. What's beautiful about it is it'll tell you within a 50-mile radius who's selling what. Some people are trying to get rid of things. So for instance, when we first moved into this house, I went to try to buy a couch, and this lady was trying to get rid of all of her ex-husband who she had just divorced from. She's trying to get rid of all of his stuff. She was going to give me a pool table for $200. OfferUp. That's going to be your new best friend. Now, that being said, you can get a mic stand for about $20-30. Quality mic stand, $20-30. Now, since we're moving on, let's talk about the pop filter. The pop filter is going to be one of your best friends next to the microphone, because you're going to have issues when it comes to actually hearing the hiss and the S's and being able to control a lot of those sounds and being able to make sure that you have a clear frequency and also a filtered frequency coming from your mouth, and you're not catching too much of the hissing. The click pop filter is definitely going to protect your microphone. It's going to protect the quality of your sound. You got to have it. $20. I found that at Guitar Center. You can get that new. I don't think you need to skimp on that. And plus, I don't think you want to use one that got somebody else's spit buildup on it. Just go ahead and get the new one, $20. Now, the next piece of equipment, I don't actually have it hooked up because I wanted to show you just how big this thing can be. Now, this is the Sterling Vocal Microphone Shield. This basically serves as like a booth behind your microphone. So instead of having the egg cartons on the walls, this basically serves to try to deaden some of the sound and some of the reverb within your room. I love it. You can find that particular one. That one's a bigger size and that's like $100. But you can find a smaller one until you're able to upgrade for $30 at Guitar Center. So that's the Sterling Vocal Mic Shield. Definitely worth your investment. The next piece of equipment that I want to suggest to you, make sure you get a pair of quality headphones so that you're able to hear. Maybe you didn't want to invest into the Rocket 5s or the monitors right now. Get yourself a good quality pair of headphones. These are the AKG K240 studio headphones. I love it. I get a great signal out here. I'm able to do some slight mixing. I'm able to basically prepare for my engineer to do his magic, but I think that you definitely can't skimp on these either. Even though I have seen these used as is, I think because they're older headphones, they're not even above 100, but I've seen some for $60. So with all these things that I have mentioned, you're not paying over $985 to get all of these items. That being said, you stay below 1,000. Like I said, you don't have to necessarily get it all used, but I was trying to make sure that I saved you from having to spend more than $1,000. I think that it's very important that you even look into it. A lot of people don't even know how easy it is to start recording right now. A lot of people think that, oh, I want to be a rapper. Well, I got to go to a studio and go to somebody else's setup, not knowing that you can set this up and put it flat in your garage or put it in an extra room or even in your bedroom. You just got to make sure you know exactly what you're getting and why you're getting it. Also, some other notes that I want to make sure that I mention. Talk to your engineer. Make sure if you're going to make any investment, make an investment into an engineer that can mix everything that you got going on. Talk to him or her. Talk to them and just figure out what they like. Some engineers like that you stack your vocals up and add multiple dub vocals, and they want you to record at a certain level. They want you to record a certain quality. Very important that you listen to what they're saying because they're the ones that are mixing for you. So you got to make sure that you pay close attention to what they're saying. And if you don't know, invite them over to your house, have them help you set it up. Now, in the beginning, I made hella errors when it came to recording my particular music and my vocals in the very beginning. But the beautiful part about it is I learned certain things like record and export in mono. You should not be recording in stereo. You should not be recording your vocals and exporting them out in stereo. You should be recording them in mono and exporting them in mono. Also, watch your recording levels. The beautiful thing about the Focusrite interface, it'll show you like the light over the actual microphone volume. It'll show you when it's peaking to red or when it's in the green. You want to make sure you don't put your vocals in the red. One thing that my engineer taught me and was very valuable is that it's a lot easier to repair vocals that are too low than it is to repair vocals that are loud and distorted. At that point, there's no repairs to be made. Now, you find some miracle workers that can do some things, but for the most part, distorted vocals are just damaged from the beginning. So make sure you pay attention to your recording levels. Also, a little bit of microphone etiquette. I was always taught that wherever your microphone is, you want to do the thumb to pinky distance test. So basically, you want to touch the pop filter with your pinky and then put it to your mouth. Now that's about the distance that you should be having as you're doing your vocals so you can get a clean signal out of what you're doing. So in conclusion, save your money. Record from home. Maybe you just want to do mixtape verses or you want to do drafts. Well, do all of that from your crib. Maybe you want to even do some vocal preparation. Maybe you want to like get your album ready and have all that hands-on control. That's beautiful. Do that from home. So that way when you go into a studio, you're already prepared. You know what you want to sound like. You know what you want it to sound like. Don't go in the studio paying hourly, trying to experiment with what you think or you don't think you want. Just give yourself the opportunity to make the proper preparation at home first. I think that it's very valuable to do so. I think that your pockets will love you. I think you'll love yourself once you have the opportunity just to see yourself go through the process. Have patience with yourself. When you're in an actual studio, ask questions, learn along the way, figure out what upgrades you need to make. Now, I say for me, the next step is to try to get a preamp, which is going to take the quality of what I'm doing to the next level. When I make that upgrade, we will have that conversation and I'll tell you how I like it. But for the most part, I recorded Raging Waters with this particular setup. You can record your album with this setup and it's going to sound fine. As long as you have a great engineer that you're working with, make that investment, you'll be good. This has been another Artist Marketing 911, Curtis King of CurtisKingBeats.com.